Morning, it's freezing. I'm at T-Bay Services, Cumbria, and it is -7 on my vehicle. But I need the loo, so I'm nipping in. But have a look at this picture I'm putting on, and we'll have a talk about it. Oh, bloody hell, it's cold. Cold. But it's warm in the van, and we're heading up the M6. So, I hope you saw that photograph. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. However, here's another photograph. I've just come out of that place and I'm hungry, but there was a queue for food, and I really do need to get this job up to where I'm going, so I couldn't wait. And then I get this picture sent to me by Toby from Firkin Freight. Have a look at this. Now that is just unnecessarily cruel. Showing a picture like that to someone like me is like showing a pint of cold lager to an alcoholic on a hot day. You know, as you might guess, I do like my food. But bloody Toby decides to send that, put it on the group chat. Well, don't be doing that anymore, Toby, you yellow sunglasses, male model wannabe. Because it's just unfair and nasty, and you know what, if you do carry on doing things like that, I am going to go full Lenny McLean on you. And now the whole WhatsApp group, they've all got on the bandwagon. They're all sending each other pictures of food and all talking about what they've had for breakfast, and I'm sat in my van wasting away. Oh well, never mind, I'm just ignoring it now, that WhatsApp group. So this job I'm doing up to Cooper in Scotland makes absolutely no economic sense whatsoever. It's not a long wheelbase job actually, it's a short wheelbase van job. And although the rate is better than I would get on the courier exchange, I'm not likely to get a return load back because it didn't leave. I'd not left super early in the morning. I'm not going to get there until the afternoon, early afternoon, maybe between 12 and 1. And at this place, this Cooper, which is up maybe up Perth somewhere, the Scottish geography is not the best. I'm probably not going to get a job back, and I'm probably not going to stay over and try and get a job back for the morning either. One, because you can't tramp out in this real cold weather, and two, I'd just be paying out for a hotel, and it'd be the middle of the afternoon, and what we're going to do? Be bored out of my head. So I'm probably going to drive back empty. Now don't get me wrong, I will make money on it, I will make wages on it, but when I compare to like yesterday, where I had an ADR job down south and got a conventional job back up north, spent £80 in diesel but took nearly £600. Today I'll probably just about cover some wages. But you know what? I'm doing it for the crack. I'm doing it because I really fancied a nice run up to Scotland. I love the drive up here. I love the roads up there when you're up there. And while the weather is cold, we're not getting any snow or rain. So I'm quite happy to do it because of that. And that is what this job you can do sometimes. Yes, it's not very good business acumen. I appreciate that, but sometimes you just fancy it, don't you? And that's the reason why I'm doing it. So anybody who then starts messaging saying, you know, doesn't make good commercial sense, I know it doesn't, but it makes sense to me because I want to do it. Simple as that. So that picture, the first picture I sent of the pallet, that picture was sent to me by a friend who works on the CX. He's not an ADR driver, and he picked up a job. It was loaded on his van, and he delivered it. And when he opened the door he noticed the stickers on the pallet. So by now it's too late, he's delivered it. And he asked me, "What is this, Dave? Am I supposed to have taken this?" Nobody said anything about this to me. So if you look at the UN codes, and you can look them up on the internet and see it yourself, those are lithium batteries, and those should be transported under ADR regulations. And somebody somewhere has blagged that and made him take them as a non-ADR driver. Now, it could be the customer has lied to the shipper. I'd like to think that's the one. It could be the shipper knew about it, I hope not, and then has lied to the driver. Or, when you say lied, omitted to tell them the full facts. But the fact remains is that he should not have been carrying that product. That is classed as dangerous goods and should be transported under ADR regulations. That has been done on the cheap by somebody who's unscrupulous, either or completely ignorant. And this is what I was saying the other day when I had the argument with the shipper who didn't give me the full facts. To me, the onus is on the shipper. The onus is on the shipper to garner the full information about a job before they accept it. You should be asking the question, are there any hazardous goods? Because that should be asked straight away. Then you should be asking, what are the nature of the goods? Are they loose? Are they packaged? Is it palletized? What size van will they fit on? And then that way you're not going to get the issues that you seem to be getting, with people like me who moan. When you arrive and you've not got the right information, and then you're either in for more money or you just simply can't do the job, and then you, the shipper, have to pay me a cancellation charge, which I will charge you. Because if I've been called out to a job and can't do it because the information's incorrect, then I am going to charge you. And you know what? I've sent that other shipper, on the advice of someone else, an invoice for me calling out for that job because they misinformed me. So we'll see what happens about that. I've got my doubts whether they'll pay it, but I think I'll quite happily pay the £30-odd county court fees just to take it further, just to prove a point. I know it's a loss maker for me, but I still feel so angry about that. Anyway, that's a side issue, isn't it? So that should have been ADR. It should have gone on an ADR van, and then they should have been paying more for it to transport it. Instead, they've got it on the cheap. So the shipper may not have known about that, but they should have still asked if it was hazardous before you even took the job. Surely a lot of responsibility lies with shippers to get the correct information so that we can quote correctly for jobs. And then you're not going to get us ringing you back saying, this isn't right, you never said anything about this. You should be asking, is the job requiring handball? Is the job dangerous goods? What size van will that correctly fit on? Is it palletized? Is it loose items? You should be establishing that before you even put it on the CX, please. So that's just an example there. What do you think? Would you have carried that? Would you have known? There's a lot of ignorance out there about hazardous goods, and you, unfortunately, can get into trouble for carrying that even though you don't know. So I would advise you to gen up a bit on it, even if you're not going to carry the things, because you just don't want to be caught out. Anyway, that's the moan over. I'm enjoying this lovely drive up here, and now we're going to show you a video of a driver and his van. But it's not an ordinary driver in his van, he's a company owner, and he doesn't operate on the CX. And I think this is interesting simply because when we all start out on here, it depends what you want. But a lot of people start on here with aspirations to just come on the CX, get yourself working, get yourself some knowledge, and then build your company up, and then hopefully have your own customers, and then have no need to actually use the CX to get work. A lot of people have that aspiration. Not me, to be honest with you, simply because as much as I'm in it for the long haul, I'm a bit long in the tooth to worry about wanting to start a big business. So I'm quite happy, get a couple of my own customers and a few backloads on the CX. That would probably do me. I'm quite happy to work at a fair price for decent shippers if they give me regular work. You know, I do quite a bit of work for James at Freddie Fletcher Limited. He's a nice guy. The jobs you do are always upfront and honest. You know exactly what you're doing, and he pays a fair rate. Yes, we'd all like more, but you can only get paid off him what he can afford to pay you. He's still got to make a living himself. He still needs to afford to pay for those expensive hotel rooms. You know what I mean, don't you, James? But I'm only kidding. So this is Michael Lynch. This is his own company, and I'm going to show you his video now, and I think it really makes interesting watching. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael, and I'm the owner of a company called Michael Lynch Logistics Limited. And I'm doing this video because I've been kindly invited by Dave at Anvil Logistics to discuss my company and how I operate, and just to give an insight into a company that does not use the courier exchange. I've been established now for about 13 years, and I've been very fortunate to have my own client base, and I don't have to rely on the courier exchange. But I really enjoy watching the other videos of the other guys, and I've subscribed to the Saintsman and to Dave himself and to Freddie Fletcher and Firkin Freight and all of those great YouTubers that do a great job and give a good insight into their company. So I thought I'd take a chance and just do this one for Dave, just to see how it goes. So I got to Winchester Services after delivering a special shipment down to the New Forest, and I thought it would be a good time to sit and have my coffee and send the video to everybody. So I've been established for about 13 years, and as I say, I have my own client base, so I don't rely on the courier exchange. And I didn't know much about the courier exchange until I started watching the videos, really. I had a sort of image that I probably wouldn't use the courier exchange. I wasn't sure. It was ignorance, really. I didn't really know how it all operated, but I just thought it might go out to anybody, and once they've got the work, how do you know they're doing a good job? How do you know that it's all going to get done okay, and your customer is giving you the work and you've passed it on out to the courier exchange? So it's a real risk. So I'm very fortunate in the fact that apart from doing my own work every day, I also have a situation where my customers that give me the work also trust me with much larger shipments, which is a real benefit to me because it gives me an extra bit of income from those shipments, even though I can't cover them myself. And the reason being is that I obviously have a VW Crafter van, and some of the shipments are very, very large. But I've built up a reputation for myself with my clients where they trust me not just to do the work that I do in my vehicle, but also other work that they want me to handle, to control and to sort for them. So I'm very fortunate. I realise that, having watched the other videos, that people sometimes don't get that opportunity. So as an example, today I had to go to Heathrow Airport and pick up this urgent shipment to go down to the New Forest, and at the same time I gave out a shipment of just over 3 tons out of Heathrow Airport to go up to Oxford, and the same shipment will happen again tomorrow. There's another 3 tons to go up to Oxford, and I work with a couple of very reliable transport companies near Heathrow Airport who work on the same basis of me, where it's got to be of a high standard and it's got to be done properly, and I trust them. So I sub out quite a lot of work, you know, Arctics, 18-ton trucks I have to hire, tail lift vehicles, and it works out really well. So as I say, I'm very fortunate that apart from my own work, I also get the work to cover that gives me that extra bit of income and keeps me in with the customer to cover most of their transport requirements, which is always a good thing. I want to give a bit of an insight into how you build up a reputation, how you make sure that reputation is protected at all times. So I find that when I go and do a collection or a delivery for any of my customers, I'm aware that I'm actually representing my customer. It's not just Michael Lynch Logistics, I'm representing my customer. So that any feedback from their customers back to them is important. So it's always be in the forefront of your mind, that when you're doing a job for any customer, whether it's your first job for them, your 50th job for them, every job's important. So make sure that you represent them well when you go to their clients, and be helpful and be friendly and get on with people and try and be as helpful as you can, and keep your customer updated at all times of any issues. I think that's the most important thing. There's nothing worse than a customer thinking everything's going okay and then you ring in a couple of hours later to say that you've got an issue. So I tend to get the job, get on with the job, and my customers now trust me that until they hear from me, they know that everything should be okay. Another thing I need to mention as well while I'm thinking about it is if you're recommended by somebody, make sure that when you go to that company, you make sure you get used to dealing with other people within that company, not just the person that brought you in, because if that person ever leaves a company, then you know nobody. But if you get to know the import department, the export department, the people that pay your invoices, the MDs, directors, anybody, get yourself established in these companies. You'll get your reputation around, do a good job, always look smart, and be proud of. I see a lot of the couriers now have their uniforms, and you should be proud of your company name, because that's you every time you go out. But it's most important, as I say, to give a high service level. That's the most important thing of all. And if there's a mistake, be honest that there's a mistake. Don't try and hide things. Don't try and do anything silly. But if you do all of that, you can build up your own customer base and you can be really successful. So I wish everyone all the best. And that's Michael Lynch Logistics Limited. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Michael from Michael Lynch Logistics. I'm just stopping at this moment in time because I have sent a video to Dave at Anvil Logistics, and he's very kindly accepted that video to use on his YouTube site. But he also asked me if it was possible for me to send some details of my vehicle and my logo and things like that. So I'm going to show you around the vehicle shortly and to show you what I have. I'll also be showing you some merchandise that I actually purchase. I buy it from a company called National Pen, and it's not very expensive, but it's pens and torches and various things with my logo on it and with my name on it, and it's given out. I mainly give it out to people who are my customers, or people that help me when it comes to offloading, or get me offloaded quickly, or just do something that they've gone out of their way to get me on my way quickly, and they've been very helpful or friendly. And on the odd occasion, it's nice to give them a pen or a torch or things like that, just as a thank you. So I'm going to show you those in the back of the vehicle very shortly. As you can see here in the back of the vehicle, I like to keep things nice and tidy. It's a 4-meter VW Crafter, so plenty of room, plenty of space in the back of this vehicle, and it's quite amazing how much volume you can actually get into the VW Crafter. Also, it has a very wide door at the side, which is great for getting pallets in and out of. So yeah, I'm really happy with this vehicle and happy with the carrying capacity as well. In the back of my vehicle, I need all the essentials, so I keep these items in 2 plastic containers. There's a company called Big Doug who do a range of containers for holding items like this. And as you can see, I have some boots, some extra safety boots. I have a high vis, some tools. I keep all my straps in a box. It just saves everything moving around in the vehicle while you're driving. It keeps it neat and tidy, and I think if you feel organised, it makes you feel better for what you're doing work-wise. Also, we have our trusted trolley, that's essential. We have some blankets for carrying delicate items so that can be wrapped. We'll get a lot of TVs and items like that that need extra protection on the vehicle. Also, I have a small container here. These are the ones that I give out items to my customers. Items like pens and things like that with my company name on them, and things like that. They're all logoed up, and let's get it the right way around, shall we? And so people can see properly. Yeah, so you have all those sort of items. They've got your company names on them, and you just give them out free gifts and stuff like that. And then I have some more items down here, as you can see. It's like a little gift box, and they do torches and things like that. And as I say, all have your logo on them, your telephone number and your strap line. And these don't cost a lot of money to buy. They're really decent. They're torches, and they're LED torches. There's all different types of colours and different types I give out to people, and it's just like a little thank you to customers and to various people that help me and assist me. As I say, there's my company details all on there again on the pen, and it's just nice to know that people are using those products, and your name's out there with various people, even if they're not anything to do with your customers. They're just people that work in a warehouse that are just grateful and happy to get something given to them for them to write, and or to torches and various things like that. It's a little thank you to everyone that helps. So they're worth investing in, and as I say, don't cost a lot of money. You'll have to forgive me for any noise there is currently at the moment. This is the vehicle. I'm on an industrial estate near Cambridge, and as you can see, the vehicle is a white VW Crafter. Could do with a wash, but unfortunately the weather has been so bad at this present time that it's just a waste of money. I do like to keep it clean, but as I say, it's not worth it at this stage at the moment, because the weather is so bad. I know I'm parked on double yellows here, but it's an unfinished estate. There's no one around. It's not a problem. As I say, it's a nice vehicle, nice size, and as I said, the door is really a big feature on this vehicle. I think it's got the largest size side door of any vehicle of this range. So let's have a look. As I say, you can see it's quite a nice distance into the vehicle. We can go back a bit further, actually, I think. Just a touch, yeah. But as I say, you do get a nice wide door on the side, so that's perfect. Just a little bit on the interior of the vehicle. It's a nice layout. It's a nice, comfortable vehicle to drive. I like to keep the vehicle nice and tidy. I have my folders and all my paperwork nice and tidy. I think if you feel organised, you feel better. I can't stand clutter, I've got to be honest. I'm very surprised sometimes I go past vehicles and they've got cans up there, they've got paperwork, they've got stuff thrown all over the place, and I think that will give you some indication of their work ethic. If they're like that, they can't be bothered to keep their vehicle clean just for a working day. I will sweep her out, keep her nice and tidy. But as I say, yeah, really nice vehicle, and I say plenty of room for everything that I need.
Thank you, Michael, for that. I really appreciate you taking the time out to do that video for us. And I think if anybody aspires to set up on their own and have their own transportation company, the example that he sets there is probably a good one to follow. You know, based on really good customer service and trust, keeping your word, keeping your van tidy, keeping yourself presentable, and just presenting a really good image. That's something that I'd like to aspire to, if I can stop making stupid mistakes. And I like to think that I do offer a good service to the customers who use me. Not end users, obviously, but the shippers who use me. I always like to think I do a good job, and my feedback, I think, proves that. So, thank you once again, Michael. Now, another appeal, please. I would like some more videos if you could. There are some allegedly in the pipeline from people who said they will do them, but I've now run out. So, I'd be grateful if you could send me your videos. Obviously, you're going to get a mention, and anything you say is going to help other people, isn't it? Because if you see things from all these different perspectives, it's going to help. So if you would, little short video about yourself, your company, bit of a tour of your vehicle, why you chose that vehicle, what's good about having that vehicle, that kind of thing. Anything that will help people. And if you could do that and send it to me, I'd be grateful. You can get my number off the CX, or you can WhatsApp it through the anvillogistics.co.uk page, or you can send me a message on YouTube and I will message you back with the information that you can send it to. But if you could, I'd be grateful. So now it's the afternoon. I'm parked up at the services. I've just used the facilities, bought myself a cup of coffee. I'm heading back from Scotland, as I suspected. I didn't get a return. There was actually a nice looking return going from Glasgow at 5 p.m. though. I didn't want to wait till 5 o'clock. Going to Bury, and it's not far from me, but you know, I can be home for 5:30, so I'm doing that. So again, like I said, not really economic good sense this trip, but I just fancied it. I really fancied it. The week so far has been pretty good. With this today, I'm actually on my weekly target, and I've still got tomorrow, haven't I? So I don't need to swan tomorrow. I can just swan about and pick a few different jobs up and not really break my neck. Or I might get lucky and land on a really tasty job. Either way, it doesn't matter, because we know the week's okay. So once again, I would love to thank you all for subscribing to this channel. These subscriptions are growing still, and for that I thank you very much. And tell your friends, ask them to subscribe. Ask your gran to subscribe, even if she doesn't drive. I'm not proud. But would you please give, if you enjoyed this video or liked it or found it useful, a thumbs up, because that helps the videos get out. And again, subscribe to the channel if you've not. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you all soon.